I can't publish the Bigs segment that we impromptu did the other night when you didn't know that we were doing it, primarily because I'm just too intoxicated.
I mean, that's you when you drink. Now you've met him. I like it when you drink because you're having a good time. You go hard. You go hard fast. And then it's like, whoa, like I was going to try to get on that level and I can't match right now. And then you feel depressed as the other drinker that you can't measure up to these standards.
Welcome, everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 81. My name is Kyle. I'm excited to be joined, as always, by my handsome, my debonair, my witty cousin, Jason the Peach. We have a wonderful show here for you, second cousins, on the eve of the 25-26 NBA season. Our Orlando Magic tip-off tomorrow. By the time you're watching this, probably tonight, Peach. So excited. Let the people know, Peach, what's going on in this awesome show?
Well, we've got the emotional check-in coming up at the beginning, as always, to see how we're both doing, and mine changed virtually while we were starting. We've got the social media roundup, as always, a shorter version today, keeping it tight.
Petite.
And then we've got Fact or Fiction, a special Fact or Fiction to get ready for the season and weigh our options. And then we've got the large ending, as always, which it just got a lot girthier.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
it did. Stay around for that. That's a good tease for that one. But we got to get started by thanking all the folks that are supporting us over on the Patreon. Shout out to all of you. Shaheen, Luis Rosario, Paulo and Franz's Warmth, Magic Player History, Matthew Bell, Damian and Gloria, Ty and Yadi. And I also want to give a big shout out to Alex M. He was the first person, Peach, to buy his tickets for the 4th annual, or is it the 3rd? One of the annuals. Family Reunion Court Cousins Night, Thursday, February 5th. We got a suite. Alex said, I want to be there. Venmo'd me the $200. He's in there with a buddy. We're going to have a good time. And we forgot to say, we always do this, Peach. If you're one of the first 5 people that buy into Court Cousins Night, you're in like a special raffle for a Apollo jersey right up the front or something right out the front, and then you're still included in all the other raffle stuff that happens. So a little extra for you to get involved if you're thinking, if you're on the fence.
There's only 3 left now.
Yeah. Well, we haven't done it like that, should we? Should it be Alex gets 2? We'd had it like ticket purchasers in the past, but maybe we should change it. I'd like that. But I need your help, second cousins. Please buy tickets, because my wife was like, what's this charge on the Chase credit card? And I'm like, honey, it's an investment in the future. I'll pay it back, I promise. She's like, you better, bitch. And then I was like, yes, ma'am. And then I went and made us dinner. So help me. Get me out of the
go down like that. Sure.
But it's going to be a good time. I'm happy. I'm really excited about the suite. So we're all going to be in together the whole dang time. Okay.
It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. I love the suite life.
Yeah. All right, Peach. Well, how are you doing? You had a roller coaster of emotions just getting ready for this. So here it is for you. Oh, no, that's me. Sorry, I'll get to that in a second. Just a little tease.
I could work with that one too. Huh? Yeah, a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions. Definitely had a I would say a colleague pass away recently. Worked at a different rink, but I knew him well. Kind of worked with him a little bit. Would send employees over there when he needed coverage and stuff. So that was a little weird start to the week, and all the best to him and his family. And then, you try to truck on, right? Like anytime someone who's a similar age, who does the same thing as you, passes away, it kind of makes you look at your life, where you're at, gives you a little deep thought, right? Like, and so I started to kind of appreciate a few more things today than I think I normally would, and had a nice kind of rosy outlook. Like, hey, I'm still here. I still get to keep doing this and what I do. And then you're feeling good. You come home and you can't find your camera for your podcast that you're working on. You can't get things hooked up correctly. Everything's out of order. Then you can't find a file of Moritz Wagner that's that's not a WebIP, so you can give it to Kyle so you can put it on the show. Like, it got weird. And that's why it wasn't going to be a growling Moritz, but it became a growling Moritz as we got to the end. but you know that after that grumble and grump that he's gonna give you the big smile and probably a flex because he loves to flex. A lot of flexing pictures available of Moritz Wagner if you're ever looking. They're out there. How you feeling for your emotional check-in?
Wow, Peach, I feel better after having listened to you. I mean, yeah, death is fuck, man. Loss, that's the grieving process. It's tough to go through, but it definitely makes you appreciate life. Memento mori, the old Stoic philosophy. You know, we got to appreciate every moment. It sounds like you're doing that. So I'm going to take that little nugget and rock with it. I have a Moritz here. He's reclining. He's drinking some recovery beverage as he's getting better from his ACL tear. But I'm interpreting this as he's loafing and lounging, and that for me is not some recovery drink, ladies and gentlemen. That has not been. Been having a good time, Peach. You know, in-laws were here, went up to Vermont, had some Mondays off in here for all the holidays as a teacher, and then went to a wedding with some of my New York friends who are get live. Then came to a murder mystery party, just kind of constant motion for a while. And after that, now the in-laws are gone, I'm kind of feeling in like a little bit of a valley after such a consistent high. They were with us for over a month. So I'm feeling a little bit down. I haven't gone to the gym or done some of the things in the past like week that make me feel really good. But I think it's just because I'm so hard on myself sometime. And I think of just hanging out playing Diablo 4 for hours as I'm doing something wrong. But like you said, just like I'm grateful to be on here with you, connecting with people. I was with students this morning, having a positive impact in young people's lives. So I just got to keep that perspective and the mantra, I forgive myself. That's what I'm going with right now. It's helping break down something big inside. Just that like phrase, I forgive myself, anytime I'm feeling a little anxious or shameful, perhaps. Yeah.
Follow-up question. How is Diablo 4?
Oh, new season 10. If any of you nerds out there, you want to go with me, I got a ball lightning sorcerer right now. I am just trucking things. Going through the pit like level 60, 75, somewhere in there right now. I just got off. Yeah. Let me know.
Get out your Charizards, kids. Let's do it.
All right. Enough of the sappy stuff and the Diablo nerd talk, Peach. Let's get into some meat and potatoes here of our Orlando Magic. We're going into that favorite segment, the social media roundup, where Peach and I scour the interwebs for your posts about our beloved Orlando Magic. We're going to try to get some talking points in here, segment it up. So let us know what you think in the comments after all of these takes here, Peach. The first one we have, oh my God, Peach is number one. Peach is stated X Factor on this team. The guy that Peach is really riding high with, Wendell Carter Jr., preseason stats for 4 games, 14 points per game, 7.2 boards, 2 assists, a block, 64% from the field, 57% from 3 in 19 minutes, Peach. A lot of people are saying Wendell Carter Jr. is the X factor for this team. All the talk amongst the other teammates coming out of training camp, the vibes are high for Wendell. He's with Angel Reese. Things are going well for him. Are we thinking that Wendell Carter is like solid for us at the center position? Can he play 60 games, Peach? Can he play 65 games? What are we thinking about Wendell Carter? And maybe just we can parlay this into a talk about the other bigs as well, the big rotation.
Yeah, I just can't with this guy. I can't believe we're still talking about this. This guy's not the guy. Everybody's just buying into it because it's preseason hype, and this is part of the reason I don't watch preseason basketball. I watch the highlights. I watched enough of it to see some things. I wanted to see some Jase Richardson. We'll talk about that later. But Wendell doing good against teams' backups and stuff like that in the preseason doesn't excite me at all. He is capable of playing well, and that's why I'm so mad about it, because he is capable of playing well. He just doesn't do it consistently and often enough. And I cannot allow myself to believe that this year he'll be more consistent and play this good on a regular basis. I can't. There's no faith. I put no faith in those numbers. Those numbers might as well all be zeros for everyone, even Paolo. They don't care what his numbers were in the preseason. Those things just do not matter to me. They matter more to like a rookie who might be trying to like learn the NBA game. Then I start to kind of go, okay, well, he's holding his own. How do they look out there? What's the feel? That's the stuff that's intangible. I don't need a stat. Ain't gonna make me feel good about that. And honestly, I cannot keep harping on this. I feel like that's going to be, I think the Magic could be a good team. I feel like if I had to put money down on something, I think we could finish second in the East. I feel like we do have a good shot at making the NBA Finals. I'm saying if you want to win the NBA Finals, I think you're all forgetting how good all of the teams in the West are. Like at least 4 or 5 of them are, well, just way better than us. So making it to the finals and not winning is cool, but we've already done that twice in our franchise history. I'd like to go and win. So I think the one places where I see a spot for upgrade is the center position. And I don't think there's anybody that could seriously look at our team and honestly feel any different. I know 3-point shooting still not completely been solved. Just because we picked up Desmond Bane doesn't mean he's going to make all the threes and no one else can shoot them. But like, I think that's a glaring hole for us. Is like, I feel like Wendell's got that backup energy vibe. Like if we win a title and he's on the team, it's because he's coming off the bench, and in shorter spurts and in shorter minutes, he makes things happen. He could put up usually the numbers he puts up on a regular basis. He could put up off the bench, and then he wouldn't be wasting 35 minutes on the game. He'd be out there for 15 or 20, and somebody else would be making better use of that time. But I'm just going based off the, last 3 or 4 years I've seen of this team now at this point. That's what matters to me. And until it's proven different, he come out and have 2 great games. It's still not going to change my mind. You've got to do it consistently for a long period of time. And if he does well, I'll give him his flowers. And if you want to say that X factor comment, you're right. If he does play well, he will be the X factor. But when he's just mid like he is, he will not be the X factor. It will be somebody else, some other thing that will get us somewhere into those high finishing second or making the finals. Yeah, those echelons of where everybody thinks we're going to be. It's not going to be because of him. It may not be in spite of him. It's not like he's going to play poorly per se, but you know, when you get a good player on your team, you want to squeeze the juice out of him. You want to get all that goodness out. And it just feels like he's a watermelon that like they just didn't bother to like eat all the red stuff on the middle end. And it's like it's the thick rind, but there's stuff in there. There's juice. There's good. And it's like, I don't even like watermelon. I don't know why I use this analogy, but I'm just saying. Man,
what's your favorite melon, Peach? What's your favorite melon? Honeydew?
I don't like any melons, sir.
Wow.
No melons for me. I'm anti-melon myself. That's what I said.
Your point is well taken. We have enough data on Wendell Carter Jr. and his availability and his performance. I think that can't be altered necessarily by 4 postseason or preseason games. Totally legit. I think what it is for me that could be different with Wendell Carter Jr. is we are trying to play a little bit different of an offense. We're trying to pick up the pace, which I'm going to talk a little bit about later in the show. But I think he could be a real beneficiary of that. It seems like he is in the preseason. He's getting some easier offensive rebounds and putbacks and things like that. And he is stepping out and shooting the 3-ball really well. At least in the preseason, you saw 57%. It ain't going to be that. But I'm not looking for anything Herculean out of him from beyond the arc to stretch the floor, but 23% last year, it just can't be that. He came in the league as a 188, 18% from beyond the arc, really made himself into a decent 3-point shooter for a few years, 32, 35, 37 with the Orlando Magic, and then just kind of fell off of a cliff again. So I'm hoping some of that, like Angel Reese, is, giving him a little flex maybe. He's feeling good in his body. I mean, he's looking lean. These thirst traps he's putting on Instagram in the gym. I mean, the man is an Adonis right now. He's in great shape, and we don't need a lot from him. I just don't know your point about if the Magic are going to win an NBA championship, we need a better center. It's like, well, what do you want? You want that center doing more big man shit, just like more boards? What are you dissatisfied with? Because Paolo and Franz are going to be scoring the points. Like we're not gonna get a center that's going to give us 20 points.
Did we just meet? What's I'm so confused right now. Listen, who are the 2 of the best rebounders of all time? the round mound of rebound, Charles
Uh-huh.
Barkley, who stood 6'6", and Dennis Rodman, who stood 6'7". So when I see guys that are over that and they don't rebound the ball consistently well,
Yeah.
that makes me angry. Now, don't give me your, well, he gets 10 rebounds a game. In 35 minutes at that height, you oughta, because the other team's going to miss at least 7 or 8 shots. And if you're standing under the basket, guess where the ball falls? To you. Doesn't mean you're a good rebounder. It means you're putting up numbers. There's a big difference between numbers and actually being good at something sometimes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see the inside play that I like. And unless they completely change the team style, which is, like you said, part of what they might want to do, and maybe this will work for him.
Yeah.
I can't stand seeing big men stand at the 3-point line. They don't get the ball, and then they don't rebound, and they don't go. They just want to run back and play D. It's like, I know that Coach Mosley loves that because he's like, well, I just want to play defense anyway. It's just a formality that we have to have the ball on this side of the court for a little while. But, get back on D, big man. And I'm sure that probably is what the coaching staff's telling him. But I hope and God Sham God gets in there and be like, no, we need to score points, damn it. We can't just win games in the 80s. Like, it's not going to work. It's not all the NBA is cracked up to be. So, I just don't think he's the guy. Like, there's so many things you see about him that I just tell you, like, all right, he's not going to be an all-star. He's not, and not that we need that, but we just need someone who can essentially play big at certain times. Like, I could start to list all kinds of names from the past that like a DeAndre Jordan or like a Blake Griffin, or like somebody who just dominated inside and was fearful and you didn't want to put up shots around him because you're scared of him, or something.
A Dwight Howard,
like,
perhaps?
JI's got a little bit more of what I'm looking for, honestly, than Wendell.
Yeah.
But he just isn't allowed to play long. So
if
he's allowed to play long, I'd like to see him replace Wendell in the minute department, but I've been saying that for years. So
valid points. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm protecting my heart because I don't want to be hurt again, Peach. But I do like what I'm seeing in terms of what you just said in those preseason games. It looks like he's crashing the boards harder. He's playing a little bit more above the rim. Like, people are trying to throw him alley-oops this year. I like that from Bane because it looks like he's kind of saying, like, hey, big man, we can do this. Like, I can draw a guy and you can get an alley-oop, and that's okay. And Wendell's
he used to play with a legit big man, Jaren Jackson Jr., somebody that would be inside and rebounding and doing stuff.
That we may see a little progression there, but everyone talks about, his defensive acumen and how he's just kind of solid as another 6'10" athlete there on the floor who can really, and so I get that value. I just don't know with that extension, like, to your point, is this the guy that we keep moving forward with? He's going to be getting through 2028 now, where he's going to be making $20 million. At that point, that will only be, 10% of the cap. So that's not bad for a starting center if you think Wendell can give you solid minutes. If he proves that, Peach, by playing 65 games, shooting a decent clip, getting more boards, being more active on the rebounds. But do you think Goga is like a better answer right now going into the season? Would you prefer to see Goga? We saw some really good things with Goga last year with the starting unit when Wendell went down. We went on a nice little win streak, I believe, with Goga in the starting lineup. A lot of people, including myself, were like, hey, this is some of the big man shit that we wanted, doing more of that, like on the offensive boards, catching some lobs, blocking more shots, being more of a presence when those little guards come into the paint. They scurry away from Goga.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They'll scurry away from some of our other big men that are in there, Moritz included when he's healthy, but they don't seem to fear Wendell at all. And he's a sound defensive player. One-on-one, he stays with his man very well. There's things that Wendell does very well. It's not like he's a bad player, and obviously he's a good-looking man. He's pulling Angel Reese. Let's go. Tip of the cap to you, sir. You've done well for yourself. By the way, I learned that for the first time when I watched the show, the segment you did where you guys brought out the I had no idea that was a thing, and I'm just confused at whether these two are going to someday have some mid-level professional play babies. But yeah, for the money he's getting paid, and by the way, since the WNBA is complaining about money, they should probably be saying, well, that guy gets $20 million. Is that fair? No. The best player in the NHL just got like $10 million a year, and like that's considered astronomical, and yet Wendell's going to make twice that in one. It's a little crazy, but yeah, I just feel like I want there to be change because as I've watched this team grow and certain things are changing about, okay, we got a new player here and this player changes here and now this player changes there. The one thing that's kind of been a constant in our lineup has been Wendell. Like
Mhm.
he's always in there getting the minutes. I don't know if he knows something about Coach Mose or what, but like even when Goga played well, then he had like one off game and it was like, boom, you're out of the rotation, sit back on the bench. We'll never see you again for the next 20 games. And it's like, well, that sucks because you don't want that kind of pressure as a player that like, if you have one bad game, all of a sudden you're just out of the lineup. So I don't think if Goga was the starter that he would get to do it for that long. I'd bet very good money they wouldn't do it. They
Yeah.
love Wendell. They're all in on Wendell. They put their chips in a long time ago and they're leaving them there and they will not fold. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I guess we just have to ride this one out as Magic fans. We've done it before with lots of other players who were frankly worse.
Mhm.
So I'm cool with it because we have a lot of other players around them that are the focal point.
Yeah.
When they did this before, it would be with guys where they're like, "Oh, Aaron Gordon, he's the best. He's the leader of our team." And it's like, "Yeah, but no." Like that but yeah, he's got to be like a piece. He can't be the dude. So, I'm okay with him being in there as a piece if he does his thing, but I
Yeah.
just don't. I've seen enough to know, and it's sort of like when I'm playing a game or whatever, if I'm doing a franchise, at some point I go, okay, what's not working here? What should I change to get better? It's really just what we added Payne and
Yeah.
two
And
guys we
Tyus
drafted.
Jones.
Like
Yeah.
not much else changed. I mean, I'd just like to see Tyus Jones is a great addition, but like we didn't change the parts that needed to be changed, and instead we're paying those guys. And that's what's like a little weird about it. If we were
Yeah.
getting those guys for a cheaper cost, it's a little easier to eat.
Yeah. Well, I'm just interested to see what Mosley does with this Bigs lineup. The minutes for JI were really weird in the preseason. There was one game he didn't play. I didn't see him, and I thought he's just not going to play. They're restricting his minutes, even though there's 0 minutes restrictions. And then he came in like in the end of third or fourth quarter, and like played for a while. So that was very odd. So I don't
Preseason is
really,
like fever dream basketball, bro.
yeah.
It's just weird and
Well,
strange, and that's why it's hard to put value on it.
the last game against the Pelicans, Mosley was using a rotation that I think is very close to the regular season. Like the starters began the fourth quarter. They played a lot of the game. So I think are some things to glean there. I'm just curious to see what can JI bring, a new slender man JI back in form. See if he can do some things and be that dunker. Like, please don't shoot the three anymore, JI. Like, we have enough data on that. It's not working, dog. Like, just
Please
hang
don't shoot
out,
threes.
by the dunker spot, catch lobs, be that help side defender, and let's go. Because then Moritz is coming back too. So those are going to be our 4 guys that are going to rotate in there. That's going to be a really nice pop for this team. And we probably haven't talked enough about that. But as we're talking about the big man rotation right now, I mean, Moritz
Needs to.
Godspeed, man. We
He
need
could
that
he could
ACL.
shake all this up.
Yeah.
Because when he plays with fire,
Yeah.
determination, and there's been plenty of games where he's been our leading scorer. Not that that's what we always want, but like he's capable. He's
Yeah.
capable in a lot of ways. And if he gets in there and he's fiery, he could take some of those 35 minutes away from Wendell that he doesn't deserve. And that would make the big man rotation a little more edible, right? And you know what? Here's my thing. If you're going to have a bunch of dudes who are like 6'10 or 6'11, fucking all play hard, right? Use your fouls. You got 6 of them, right? You can use 5 and still be in the game. If you get in foul trouble early, boom, we'll just move Goga in there. Goga gets in foul trouble, boom, Isaac in there, boom, Moritz comes in, right? If they're all like kind of in that same space and you view them all the same, let's not just give 35 minutes to Wendell because he knows your aunt or something. Like, I'm not sure why he always gets them, but like, let's spread it out. Like, let's use those big men.
Well, I mean, I think that he gets him because he's our best option right now. Like, the other options are like Goga, who's good, but I think once he got that extended time, he did fall off a little bit of a ledge. He didn't have that same gusto as the taxation of a regular season. A solid starter level minute role started to really wear on him. And then JI has been in and out, 0 minutes restriction this year. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Moritz coming back, I think that could be the guy who could, as you said, eat up some of those minutes because he is deserving. He can bring a legitimate outside threat, and then he puts the ball on the floor and gets right in the teeth of the paint. And that is synergy between he and Franz, the brotherly connection, the Wunderkids, like that's a real thing too. So I'll be interested to see how it all shakes out once everyone is healthy. Knock on wood, if that can please happen.
Indeed, and there might be another big man who gets a chance to move in.
Yeah, here it is, Peach. There he is for you.
Florida Gator Colin Castleton is a two-way contract of the Orlando Magic, and I liked what I saw from him. I've seen him before, actually. I remember watching him a little bit in college. I think I saw him play somewhere, maybe in the G League. I'm not sure if he played against the Legends or something, and I happened to catch a game. But I feel like every time I've seen this guy, I'm like, man, this guy's not on an NBA roster somewhere. So I'm glad he's kind of on our NBA roster, but
yeah,
because of all the big men we just talked about, I don't know as though he necessarily fits in unless there's some sort of injury or something like that takes place, because they don't like to really mess with that. And also I could just see him coming up and just sitting on the bench, which is sad. But maybe the new coaching staff will rotate some dudes in and see a little bit more and get a little bit more out of dudes. I feel like that keeps the guys hungry. Maybe you don't do that with your starters, but you do it with your bench, right? Like once in a while you give a guy a game and you say, hey, I'm going to put you in with the second unit today, and we're going to see what you can do. Like, get it out there, see what these guys have got. And that way, by the time you get to those big time games in, April and May and stuff, you've already got your rotation solid. You know who you can count on to come in and get you a bucket or play D in the clutch. I mean, I don't want these guys sitting and wasting away on the bench just doing nothing all season again. And that includes Jet Howard and all the other guys we've got on our bench. Like, let's mix it in here. Let's get wild. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. That's what happened to the Knicks. They played like 9 guys all year, and then when the Pacers ran him out of the building and Thibodeau was trying to play the 9th, 10th guy on his bench, they're like, bro, we haven't played in like 2 months, man. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't think
Dadit's like, yeah, I technically have a uniform on, but I'm not sure if it's on backwards or whatever.
I hope to hell we don't see any Colin Castleton on the big squad, but I'm looking forward to seeing with the Osceola Magic when they come play the Westchester Knicks. I'll see him there. How about that, Peach?
All right.
Someone though that I'm curious to potentially see this year, now that he's had his full preseason games under his belt. This is from Not Another Magic Pod. Weltman strikes again. This looks like it's a redraft of this year's draft post preseason. So putting a little bit of stock into the preseason. But this has them taking the New Orleans Pelicans taking him at 7 instead of Jeremiah Fears. And he went number 25 to the Orlando Magic. So that would be quite the steal if that pans out. And I think what I've seen in the preseason is a man of small stature who has the heart of a lion. He is not afraid to go in and mix it up with the trees, throwing his body onto the court. He was shooting the lights out of the ball. I don't think he'd missed a 3 for the first 2.5 or 3 games. So that definitely helps when you're an Orlando Magic fan. Haven't seen that in a while. He looks calm with the ball. Like he doesn't look like it's too fast for him or the moment's too big. And I know it's just preseason, but now we're pros, and this is the big boy team. And he's still making minutes for himself. He's still being a guy that people have to guard at the three-point line, making some noise. Like, this is the only publication that's talked about Jase Richardson potentially being one of the steals of the draft. A lot of people are on this and really like him. And if he can play defense, he'll be in there. But we need scoring, man. And we need spacing, and we need three-point shooters. And he could take some time, or this is the natural successor of Tyus Jones after Tyus Jones's year contract is up. So I don't know how much we're going to see of Jase this year. I think he might get some early run when Jalen Suggs is working his way back into the lineup. I imagine they won't start him at 30 minutes a game. So Jase might see a little bit of time early, and he's got to make hay while the sun shines in the early season, because that's the only way. He's got to be shooting the lights out. That coach is going to play him when Jalen Suggs is back to full health. Otherwise, he's going to be seeing a lot of Colin Castleton probably as well, and Osceola.
It was interesting all the ways that you were describing Jase Richardson at the beginning, and then you said, "Oh, we haven't seen in a while," and it sort of was a little insulting, I think, because I think that you already forgot about this guy, because that's exactly who he reminds me of as a young Cole Anthony, right? Like
Mm.
he's got a lot of panache.
Yeah.
He's tiny, but he gets inside, right? He makes tuck buckets. He's a
Yeah.
scorer. I mean, hopefully he shoots better than Cole Anthony did in the long run, but Cole Anthony was a guy that got a lot of buckets for us. And it kind of felt like, all right, we picked up a guy that's a Cole Anthony. He's going to be cheaper and he has potential to be even better. And we got him that late in the first round. So I think it's a win, but that was my thought process going in. And then as I saw clips, I was just like, I think we got one here. I think we really got a late round steal. I'm impressed with what I saw from him. I like it a lot. I don't like it when little men go into the paint, but I feel like he's fearless. And I think that you need that. And boy, I hope he sees minutes this year because I do not want him to be one of those guys that rots on our bench because I think he's got potential. But if he sits there and does nothing for most of the season and plays like 20 games or something like that in garbage time, that's not going to help him. So, man, I hope we get to see more of Jase because I like what I'm seeing so far, and I know that we have some other guard options. But man, there should be some time for him. I think he's going to force them to make time for him, and I for one welcome our new tiny guard who is ready to score at a moment's notice, and hopefully he has the same panache on the mic that Cole Anthony does. Don't
Oh,
know,
that's him.
not sure if he's quite as
Yeah.
charismatic. Those are the biggest shoes to fill when Cole Anthony left town. It wasn't the Uggs he used in the dunk contest. It was it's a little bigger.
Hold me closer, tiny point guard. That wasn't as good as Elton John, but that's what it made me think of. Yeah, well, that's the only thing, Peach. Can he shoot more consistently than Cole? Because if Cole was consistently a 37% three-point shooter, he'd probably still be on. He could still be on this team. That's the only thing is the inconsistency with that, and that's what you got to do to separate yourself as a pro. Like you got to do it night in, night out. Jase went, I think I just counted up 8 of 13 from beyond the arc in the preseason. If you keep shooting like that, you can't keep a guy like that off the court. Like that's too many buckets. I don't care what he's doing on the defensive side. Give this man some burn. Okay. Anything else on Jase? I'm excited to see what happens with that and how much time he gets.
I mean, I'm only excited if it means he's playing. If it's he's sitting on the bench or we're waiting to see when they're going to call his number, that I don't want to see.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right. So something I'm excited to see right here is the new layout for the Kia Center, the Kia Soul Center, baby. Yeah, I'm still pushing that narrative. There's new monitors in there, everything, new scoreboard. Folks down in Orlando have been texting me, telling me it looks sick. Here we have a post from Al Magic HQ. A lot of Magic fans love to complain about the front office and the ownership group, but you guys better be happy after everything they've done this past season. They've given us, I think, everything we've all been asking for and more. And apparently the DeVosses are now fucking Santa or something. I don't know if I got everything and more that I wanted, but
yeah, I was gonna say if you really want to go down a nice rabbit hole, go find that post on Twitter. There's a lot of good responses. Some are dumb, but some are funny. I mean, obviously, then once someone challenges you, goes, you don't want anything else. Of course, your mind always goes, "Oh, wait a minute, I can think of something." Right? I'm sure we all got something. Like, go ahead and put yours in the comment below. By the way, for me, it's this jersey I'm wearing. I got to tell you, man. I do not like the way the jerseys look on the court. I am not a fan of them.
What?
I feel like they look like Temu jerseys that like you got from China, and they came with the wrong wordage. This wordage right here has been
the
my
small
my
Orlando on the pinstripe blue. That's the one you don't like.
And the number font is not. Yeah, the blue jersey just does not do it for me. It's just it's like it's like someone handing you an ice cream sundae and you're like think it looks awesome, but then you realize it's motor oil and not hot fudge on the top. You're like, no, it's just so close to good, and it's just not there, and they look cheap. It looks like a cheap knockoff. And the white jersey, well, it kind of looks sharp and clean. Like the star is kind of hard to see, so it kind of just looks like it's M and like the A fell off or something like that. Like when you're watching games, like when you're seeing the clips.
Okay.
I know that like if you just stare at a picture of one online right now, they look they look pretty clean. But like, again, that's another one of those ones where it's like, okay, well, we had a font for Magic and you didn't go with it and you just went another way. And then I've gotten into this argument with several people and they're like, well, they couldn't do that. And it's like, well, they could have. And they're like, well, no, they couldn't because there was this. And so somebody else bought that and there's a thing. And then the NBA says you can't do this. It's like, you can do anything you want with money. I think we all should know that by now. Okay. I'm not going to give you examples. You could probably already think of 3 off the top of your head. You can do it if you really want to. They didn't want to. They wanted to kind of rebrand and have their own spin on the classic take. And they've done it well enough that I feel like I'm in the minority. I feel like most fans are accepting this. They've been like, okay, this is the new order and I'm ready to serve. And these are our jerseys now. I'd like to see the black ones in action. Those might be my favorite. But right now, I don't know if I'm getting a jersey on our trip. I just don't think I'm doing it. They're not as pretty. Like, they're just not it. But maybe the black one will be good. I don't know. We'll see. But that, if I had to answer this to everything, but he is right. His point is valid. Like, there's a lot of good stuff going on with this team, right? If this team stunk right now, if we were getting ready to watch like a 20 or 30 win team, I'd be like, yo, we're stopping the podcast right now. Like, I can't watch this shit. But at least the team is hype, right? Like, things are good. We want to see how the team does. Like, it would have been a lot harder if this was the era where we started this podcast to then be like, yeah, they're rolling out these stinker jerseys. It looks like they got them from China. And now we're going to win 20 or 30 games, and this is just awful. So focus more on the fact the team's going to be good, man. I mean, that scoreboard looks sick. It looks like the one they have down at the AAC with the inner ring underneath. I mean, that is what's up. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing all the changes they made there. And honestly, the Magic, they're going all in. They're as a small market team. Every once in a while, you got to decide, I'm making that big trade. I'm taking some assets and throwing stuff out here, and I'm putting all my chips in. And our chips are in right now for these next couple of seasons. And they want to make sure people are having a good time there and all the way around. And I think this is huge. It's very important for Orlando Magic to have a very good season this year and probably next year too. And hopefully see some playoff success. It's big. What would be your thing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to hold them the jerseys. I guess the buck does stop with them ultimately, but they have a whole, design team and such. But you're right. You could say that they got to approve everything probably.
Had a design team too. That's so sad. Like, they had meetings and they had people. Someone made money designing that when they really didn't do anything. They just took what was good about these and they messed up the two good parts, like the font of the number and the font of this. And they're like, yeah, we'll roll it out there. And then someone was like, well, we'll just use the same shorts though, right? Because the shorts were cool. Nah, just put the star kind of floating around on the side. It doesn't need to have any variation down at the corner where it belongs. Just let it float around on the side there. It's like, oh, well, now I don't even want your shorts.
As you could tell, Peach is very passionate about jerseys. He may or may not be in a full jersey at Court Cousins night. So if you want to see that, then you gotta come through to the suite. I'm gonna
NBA jersey day today too. So I feel like I had to make comments now.
That's fair. I can go both ways on this. I'm gonna be a little bi on this one. I think for some of the big things, we've seen a lot of really good things out of this ownership group. I'm putting my own social politics aside on this and just treating it like basketball. I'm not talking about the DeVos family at all. They built with, that Advent training center a few years ago. And that is like the gold standard of training facilities in the NBA. And everybody says that when they go there. They are just blown away when they go there. The players love to be there. And that is a feather in their cap. They have, gone out and secured more partnerships for the Kia Soul Center. That's just for them to make more money. But I think it does elevate us a little bit in terms of our platform. And they're doing, this awesome, modifications within the arena. I can't wait to see how that enhances the viewing experience. If I go to the other side of the coin, I can say, hey, ownership, I know this is maybe not on you. Maybe this is on the communications team or something. Can we not do the fucking bobblehead night on Lakers night or Knicks night? Can we not do that this year? Because we've done that. I think on the Golden State Warriors, I think it was Lakers were playing. Can we pick a game where it's like the Orlando Magic versus the Charlotte Hornets? So you know that every bobblehead is going pretty much to an Orlando Magic fan. That would be nice. Okay. That's one thing that really grinds my gears. And then the other thing, I think, Peach, we're going to find out really how much the DeVosses are willing to put up. Because like you said, this team put in a lot of chips in terms of draft capital with Desmond Bane, cap flexibility. And right now, I think we're just about $7 or $8 million over the salary cap. So we are a luxury in the luxury tax threshold. So that's at $187 million. Our current roster, I believe, is $193. So that's about it's a little more than that. It's about $7 million. So what happens with that? How willing are the DeVos family to pay the luxury tax this year? And because then you can become a repeater and it goes higher and higher. And what is there going to be their threshold to fork out when this team is winning? Because that's when owners really have to put up and they got to eat some of it. Ideally, right? The stadium's going to be full, though. Things are going to be going well. They should be making money hands over fist. But if we see something cheap like them move on from Goga or trade, someone, I guess Jet Howard is, if he's still playing like he did last year, but if he's starting to play well and they're like, nah, and they're trying to duck under that salary cap. If we're really playing well, that's going to tell me something. And that will piss me off. That will piss me off because I don't like when millionaires and billionaires pinch pennies, especially when it's something that we put so much time and love and emotion into. So we're going to learn a lot as we get closer to the halfway point in the season to see what they do with that issue.
Yeah, you made a great point about the training center, and anybody who's a Bucket Squad fan, Team Jesser's got a great walkthrough tour that he was given of that facility. It's definitely worth a watch as a Magic fan, even if you're not familiar with Bucket Squad and their doings.
All right. Peace. I think that's it for our social media roundup then. Thank you everyone whose posts were featured. If you come across something or you have a take that you want to see get onto a future episode, hit us up on the Instagram and the Twitter machine at @court_cousins. And if we like it, we'll put it on the show and give you a shout out.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed. That's probably the shortest roundup we've ever had, but we rounded it up well. No games were actually played, so.
And it was still 40 minutes long.
Son of a bitch.
All right, let's go into fact or fiction. This is that part of the show where we say a statement, and Peach and I will need to say whether it is a fact or a fiction. We're doing a little bit of season preview type of stuff here for this. So, Peach, the first prompt that we have is...
This is also the part of the show where Kyle gets to cut it up into clips later, which are fun. And short, you can watch them on your lunch break.
Our first one is the Magic will go over their win total, their betting win total of 50.5 games. How are you feeling about that, Peach?
Nope.
Okay.
Fiction. That's it. Just feels like a lofty goal to say over. 50 seems about right. I could see it being 48 or 49. Still good enough to be a top team in the East. And probably not really disappoint that many people. Just feels like 51, 52. I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I haven't put money on it either. I would have loved to have put money on it right before the Desmond Bane trade because I don't know what our number was at the beginning of the season, but it was not this. But Peach, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hammer the over, sir, that the Orlando Magic will win over. It's actually 51.5 games now. I think I have an updated spread for this year. Last year, 41-41, ended 500. Definitely a disappointment of a year with all of the injuries that happened to Paolo, to Franz, to Wendell, to Jalen, to Moritz. A lot of guys went down. But Peach, I'm feeling like this pace stuff could be real. I know you said don't buy in too much to what you say in the preseason, Kyle, and I'm listening to that. I have the wise Peach in the back of my mind as I'm watching and getting a little too overexcited about things that I'm seeing. But this is something that coaches and players have talked about ad nauseum during training camp. We want to pick up the pace. We're one of the best defensive teams, and we're not taking advantage of it. We're getting steals, but we got to have more pace so that we can capitalize on some of these opportunities. Last year, we were one of the lowest in the league at 96.5 in terms of pace. I think I don't actually know how they calculate this, so I'm not going to lie. It's possessions. And this year in the preseason, we're up to 103.5. So that's a difference of 7 possessions. 7 possessions. Not saying we're going to score on all of those, but if those 7 possessions can translate into 10 points, Peesh, how many games do you think the Magic lost by 9 points last year? Without looking in the slide. Don't look in the slide, you bastard.
9 or less? I don't see it in the slide, to be honest. I'm looking at it right now. But,
10. Less than 10 points. So, 9 or less.
Yeah, probably several. I would say 22.
That's a lot. That's way too many. That's
okay.
We lost 12 games by under 10 points, and 7 of those were by 3 points or under. So to get to this 50 win or 51 wins, depending when you got in on this line, if you can get 10 points out of that, that's 12 more games. And that gets you to 53 wins. So even if that just stays slightly consistent, with the pace alone, we can get it. But now we also have the Bane effect. We've gotten a complete offensive player, and I'm just absolutely loving. He didn't have the greatest preseason, but you see what he can do. He's just another confident guy with the ball. He can make plays. He can get his own bucket. He's aggressive as a scorer. He's got dribble drives. He gets to the line a little bit, which I'm liking. He distributes the ball really well when he's driving, and he shoots all variety of three-point shots. That has been a missing component, and we have it in Desmond Bane. And I just think regular season wins, as a top 5 defensive team, nobody wants to play the Orlando Magic. And we have depth. Like, I do think Coach Mosley is definitely not Tom Thibodeau in that respect. He gave 10, 11 guys a chance last year at various times. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to continue. And if we're picking up the pace, more guys are going to get to play because we're going to tire guys out, and people are not going to want to play the Orlando Magic. They'll probably lay down after getting punched in the face, some teams, and I think the regular season wins could add up. You're laughing at that take. Why are you laughing at that take, Peach? I'm deadly serious right now.
Okay, they punch him in the face and they'll lay down. Like, I just okay. I like the logic of the close games and making those up to get over the 51.5 mark. I think that's a great argument.
Did I convince you? Are you changing your mind?
No, okay. But it's mostly because I'm not a huge bettor. I honestly, like, when I bet, I don't like to bet on things like
it's
that. It's
hypothetical money right now, Peach. Just do you think the Magic are going to get over 51 and what happened? Okay. So
I don't want to do it. No.
Okay. All right. Let us know.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong on that, but yeah, it's possible. It's very coin flippy for me. I just don't want to coin flip and bet.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Let us know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, you think the Orlando Magic are going to get over...
Those people who set the lines, man, they know what they're doing.
They do.
And I just feel like that line's pretty good. I'd be happy with a 50-win season, so I'm good with it.
Might be good enough for first in the East. We shall see. Okay, the next one, Peesh. Yes. Here we are. Paolo will be an all-NBA player this season, Peesh, meaning top 15 player in the NBA. I'll go through the last year's ones if that will kind of help to frame the conversation here. First team was Giannis, SGA, Jokic, Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell. Second team was Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Evan Mobley, Jalen Brunson. Third team was Cade Cunningham, Karl Anthony Towns, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Williams, and James Harden. So what say you, Peesh, about our Paolo Banchero getting onto that list this year?
Yeah, fact. It's time. It's time. I don't think he was probably that far off being on that third list last year. if he had played a full season, I think he could
Right.
have been in there.
He was under the league.
Um,
He didn't play 65 games, so he was not in consideration.
right. So he would have been in that consideration if he played the 65.
Yeah.
And I just think it's time. They're ready for him to break out as a star. I think the NBA has decided that, like, oh, it's okay. We can push Paulo a little bit now. So I mean, especially if he is on the All-Star team again, which I would expect, and plays the full season, I couldn't see him not being on it, to be honest. I mean, unless things go terribly wrong for our team. But even then, if he's still playing and putting up points and producing, even if we finish middle of the pack, I can't see him not being on it. It's time. It's time for him to rise, and he knows it, and
Yeah.
he's been working on it, and he's been changing parts of his game that I've not believed in one of our star players this much in a long time. So I think it's time.
Yeah, I echo your belief. This is all the way fact. If I could bet on this, I wonder if you can. I would bet on this.
Probably.
Yeah.
You can bet on preseason basketball, as Paulo will warn you not to do.
Yeah.
That was the one slide that I thought of that I forgot.
Yeah, we didn't put that in, but there was some
telling a guy to calm down on preseason betting.
Yeah, someone in the front row. I don't know if there was some type of content creator yelling at Paulo, "Man, come on, I bet on you." And Paulo's like, "You're addicted, dog. Like, it's the preseason. Betting on the preseason? That's out of pocket behavior, sir. You can't be doing that."
Yeah, he's right.
He's definitely right. Definitely right. And I'm all the way there on Paolo Banchero, the player and the person and the drive that he has. Man, I've been watching this docuseries, The Standard, with a 5 instead of an S, and it gets me pumped, man. If I need like a motivational video in the morning, I'm throwing that on. Paolo Banchero talking about his work ethic, just being interviewed, different clips, how humble he is about where he is and how much work he wants to put in, and he just lives in the gym, the Bat Cave, the original one that he called it. He just lives in there, man, and he takes care of his body, and he's constantly reflecting on what will work and constantly watching film, and he wants to be great. He wants to be the greatest player in the league, and I mean, will he get there exactly? He'll definitely be in the top 5 players, I think, very soon. And we're going to need that guy, as we said, if we're going to be going to championships and winning them, because we've got a guy that I feel confident. It's like, all right, if you guys got Victor Wembanyama, we got Paolo Banchero. So let's go. And that's like, you feel confident and comfortable with that toe-to-toe match, which is a crazy thing to say. But he realizes, he says he still has so much further to go in his game, and that just gets me giddy. That just gets me excited. It's like, yeah, this guy is still so young, and he's still developing his game. I think he's taken ownership, as has the team and the league, that this is Paulo's team. He's the leader. He's owning that. He lives leadership. He leads by example, but he's also a talkative guy. I think like Anthony Edwards was on this list, right? He got 27 points, 5.7 boards, and 4.5 assists. Like, that's just under Paulo's points. He had more rebounds. I think he had about the same assists last year. So there's no way you're telling me that Paolo can't put out a stat line better than that for a season. And if the Orlando Magic are as good as we hope and think that they could be, at least the top 3 team in the East, someone's got to be an All-NBA player on that team, right? And it's going to be Paolo Banchero. It's just the efficiency, really, is like when you look at Anthony Edwards' stats, he's just more efficient. And all these guys on this list, I went into a few, they're more consistent shooters. And so if Paolo can take that jump, then he's there. Like, everything else is there already. It's just finding those spots, making them really high efficiency shots, and this team could take a leap with Paolo's leap.
Agreed. You're getting an argument from me, sir.
No, I'm just, I'm so excited to watch this player, like you said.
I mean, imagine how good he's going to be by the time he gets to Seattle.
That is messed up, man. That is messed up.
I'm just kidding. No, but it's good to say. I mean, one thing he has in common with another guy who everyone else calls the GOAT, but I don't think he's the GOAT. But Tom Brady, you have to respect his work ethic, because he was not an athlete. If you've ever seen him in the combine, you know he really wasn't much of an athlete. But he committed to, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, my girlfriend's pregnant. I don't care. I'm going to dump you. I got to focus on football. And he became the best, right? Like he became the best, and then he maintained being the best. He didn't just get to the top and stop. He kept maintaining the best, and he kept saying, listen, I don't really like my wife or my family, so I'm going to just keep playing football, even though I've already won enough Super Bowls. But it worked for him. It paid off, right? He put the work in, and he got to where he was going. And you got to respect that. You know what I mean? And once he was done playing football, him and his wife didn't work out. So there's some fact behind that, right? He didn't want to be there. But the point is that Paulo's putting the work in, right? He doesn't seem, you don't hear about him out partying or anything like that. You almost feel a little bit bad for the ladies because there's probably a line of ladies waiting to date Mr. Paolo Banchero, and he's just like, hey, I'm busy. Like I got to get up 50 jumpers this afternoon, and then I got to go do some sit-ups and some pull-ups. Then I got to hit the cold tub. Then I got to hit the warm tub, and I got shit to do. I don't have time to devote to taking you out to dinner. That doesn't do anything for me. Like, you know what I mean? And it's nice to have someone that's that focused on their job. They're usually very good at it when they focus that much on their job. So all the best, Paulo. But get out there and have some fun, big guy.
Not too much fun, Paulo. Okay, this kind of ties into the conversation we were having earlier and my mention of will the DeVosses put pressure on the front office to make a trade to get under the luxury tax, or are there going to be what else is going to happen with this season? We just made some big trades, or a big trade this offseason. So this prompt is there are no trades made during the season. So nothing's happening at the trade deadline. We're not making moves to try to get better or to try to duck the luxury tax. I don't know on this one.
I gotta say fiction. We didn't do anything last year, and it felt like we really needed to do something. And looking back now, we're like, okay, well, it was worth waiting to the offseason to get what we got, because it probably wouldn't have gone down that way if we'd have made a move. But I think if the only reason we don't make a trade is if we're like going to clear the 60 win hurdle. In my book, like I think there'll be some part of like if we're on a trajectory to make that far, like if things are going that well that they don't want to rock the boat, then maybe nothing will happen. But I still feel like there'll be some hole or something that they want to fix or fill, or a contract that they want to dump, not necessarily for the reasons that you said, which I don't know. I feel like you're going a little hard on the DeVosses today for some reason. Not really sure what that's about, but
well, because
they seem like good people.
The Betsy DeVos tried to destroy the Department of Education. I'm a public school teacher. So she tried to like privatize. Right. Anyways, I'm not getting into politics. I told you I'm not getting into politics. That's why. That's why. No, she doesn't have good points. All right. Keep it moving. I'm not getting
I'm saying she may. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, the point is I think they've got to make some trades this season, because it'll be at that point where it's like other teams are getting better at the trade deadline, and if we stay pat, that means we already feel like we're the best team. So if we're the best team, nothing will get done. I don't think we'll be the best team at that point. And I think they'll find a way to dump a contract or fill a hole. It may not even be something that really benefits us. It might be just, okay, we want to get rid of one of the I'm not going to mention names. I'm done with the name thing. I don't want to talk trash about people. This is not about that.
We know you're talking about Jet Howard, but
roster, we can, well, whatever. If there's somebody on our team, we can move and we can pick up a draft pick or something like that.
Yeah.
I could see us just doing that, like just so that the guy can get playing time, or we dump a big contract and just take back a pick or two, or somebody that's going to be an expiring contract. I could see a move being made like that. That kind of doesn't really affect the play of the team. But if there's a glaring hole and we're sitting like 4th or 5th and we really want to make that jump, something's got to be done. And if that is the case and nothing's done, it kind of hurts all the goodwill that's been built this offseason. Because if you're really all in and you really want to show us that you're good to go, and okay, we've seen half a season of what you put out there and it's not quite hitting for whatever reason, maybe it's an injury thing, I don't know, whatever. But if there needs to be a hole filled or something done, I don't think we should shy away from it.
That's very optimistic of you, Peach. That's very optimistic of you. I like the glass half full mentality there, making a move to try to get better. I really think if we make a move, it's not going to be further into the luxury tax or closer to the first apron. I do think it's going to be financially motivated, and so I guess I'm going with fiction. I think it's going to be something to duck the luxury tax. I don't know. I was going to say fact to this because we just made all the moves and this is the team and we love consistency. Weltman has shown that he really loves consistency. So I really do want to say fact, but now you prodding me on the DeVosses and me just kind of doing the mental gymnastics of the luxury tax, I think there could be a move to get under it. And I think sadly the casualty of that might be Goga Bitadze because his $8,300,000 is pretty much the exact number that the Magic would need to do to get under the luxury tax. And if Moritz comes back and J.I. is there and Wendell is there and we already hailed Colin Castleton, then that might be a move that they look to make, as sad as that would make me.
We're not playing Goga anyway. And that's exactly the amount.
Yep.
I mean, I know you may not like it from a business standpoint, but if it can be done in a way that doesn't really jar the team, then you do it. Now, Goga's beloved in the locker room.
I know.
So I don't know if that would go too big
and
with
I
the
think
boys. But
that type of shit would jar the team a bit. And that's why I will be watching really closely these transactions. And if I see, as I said, some bullshit get under the luxury tax move, like moving Goga, I think I'm going to be pissed. And I think that all the players in that locker room are going to be pissed because it signals we don't really care all the way about winning because we're making this financially motivated move. So I think that could be very bad.
Winning more doesn't always mean winning more, but it does appear that way a lot.
No, and if you don't want to be a luxury tax repeater team or a first apron repeater team. I don't know exactly what it is, but there are more penalties as you are in the tax and the first aprons for multiple years. So if you want to play it like, oh, well, we didn't want this to be our first year in the luxury tax because, Paolo is about to get the extensions kicking in and all that, I guess I could go with some of that mental gymnastics. But again, it's the owners that pay that luxury tax. That for us fans, it doesn't matter. I don't think it has any bearing on our flexibility from a cap perspective. So that will make me pissed. And so I'm going to go a glass half full. I've flip-flopped on this quite a bit, Peach, but I'm going to say fiction. Fact. There are no trades made. That's a fact because I think Weltman has gotten enough good grace with the ownership. He's going to be able to convince him with that golden tongue that Weltman has and those pearly nostrils. And we're not going to make any trades.
Well, it's weird because he does appear on the right side of your screen, but there's a left sider flip flopping. Wow, who'd have thought it? I don't have a horse in the race. Just felt like a fun political joke to me. I'm stepping outside of my boundary here.
You stop it. I'm a little snowflake. I can't handle this stuff, Peach. I can't handle any cajoling. I'm delicate.
He'll melt. Snowflakes are beautiful, though.
We're all unique. We're all unique and beautiful.
How could there be no two alike? Come on, all those ice crystals around, none look alike. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, has anyone done the research?
Come on, science. Get real.
Okay, all right. Last one here, Peach. The Orlando Magic will have an all-defensive player this season. What say you?
I'm going to pick this time to use, I believe, my first swear of the show.
Okay.
And say, they fucking better. If you got a coach that loves defense this much, and with all the great defensive players we have on this team, we fucking better.
It was a good time to cash that chip in, Peach. That was well done.
I thought so.
It was appropriate.
It's deep in the episode, so YouTube won't look that
far. Last year, first team, Evan Mobley, Dyson Daniels, Luguentez Dort. Wow, that's not the Oklahoma City Thunder I thought. Is this last? Yeah, this is last year. I didn't know he was nice like that.
Dort.
Draymond Green, Amen Thompson. That's first team. Second team, Ivaka Zubac, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Toumani Camara, and Rudy Gobert. Man, Toumani Camara made it on this team. I know that Portland had a nice leap, and I know he's nice, but damn. I guess what really hurt us, we would have had somebody on one of these two teams, but no one being Jalen Suggs mainly didn't have the games played, and Jonathan Isaac hasn't had the games played. People still seem to love him as a top defensive type of guy. I don't know. I haven't quite seen that in the past couple of years. I really would like to see that come back, But I actually think the guy that's going to make it is going to be Franz Wagner. I think he is
Okay.
underrated completely. I think he defends every
Agreed.
position, every single position on the floor well. He always moves his feet. I don't have the numbers to back it up. I did some searching. Defensive numbers are hard for me to find. If you can find some numbers to back up this argument, what my eyeballs are seeing, please put it into the chat, into the comments, because Franz is just consistent. He's always on the best wing defender or the best wing player on the other team. He's just solid. He's moving his feet constantly, never out of position, gets disruptive in the passing lanes. I think he's going to have a lot more breakaway conversions this year. I just want him to get the recognition on the defensive side of the ball because he is truly a complete player, minus the three-point shot, and on both sides of the ball, and he deserves recognition. I would love for him to get it, although if Jalen Suggs plays the amount of games, he's probably going to be the one that gets kind of the honorary, hey, your team's in the top 5, top 3 defensive team, you're going to have a guy on here.
Yeah, I mean, I loved what you said there and articulated about Franz, and we don't talk about his defense enough, so I'm glad that finally somebody had the good sense to say it. But you can tell sometimes when the NBA or when the media, they start creating narratives for people, right? And they get the idea that people can be this, and they come out with their, oh, here's our preseason play. So it's like when we talked earlier about Paolo being an all-NBA player. All right, they've already laid the foundation for that. If it happened, people wouldn't think it's crazy, right? Like,
right.
I think people might think it's crazy with Franz Wagner unless there's some sort of stat to back it up, like he leads the league in steals or has a ton of blocks, which I don't think he's going to. But that's where I said, like I said earlier, sometimes the stats are a little deceiving to the play, because his defense is very good, but doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet, especially when you've got guys like Suggs with the turnovers and shit like that. So your point is valid. I think it's great, but I don't think he would make the defensive player team unless he's the only one that qualifies and we like lead the league in defense again. And then he would have to carry that torch for us. But I wouldn't put money on it, but someone on our team's getting on that goddamn thing. Believe you me, that of all the things on there, I don't know. Maybe I believe Paolo will be an NBA player more, but they do love a lot of other players. They might want to shun him a little bit. I can't see us not having a player on that all defensive team. That's the one I would bet on the most.
Okay. I like that. That's going to solidify us as that top team. I mean, I forgot to even mention that we were talking about the over-unders. If you have a top 3 defensive team in the league, you just got to have a on par offensive output, and you're getting a lot of wins. And people do not want to play the Orlando Magic because of the defensive tenacity. And I think that comes, of course, from Jalen Suggs, but I think it comes a lot, that attitude, from Franz Wagner. He's a lunch pail guy. He's always been an Iron Man, and he fights on both sides, and we love him for it.
Wow, he's a lunch pail guy. He has an Iron Man lunchbox, is what I heard. And I also heard he'll punch you in the face, and then teams have a hard time coming back afterwards. I'm learning a lot from this podcast.
All right, that concludes this segment of Fact or Fiction. That was a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the takes, and you're letting us know what you think in the comments. We're about to go into the large ending, but I do want to shout out again all of the wonderful people who support us over on the Patreon. Thank you so much for all of your help. And of course, Court Cousins Night, Thursday, February 5th. We rented a suite against the Nets. If you want to be there in that suite with Peach and I and 12, 13, 14 other great people, make sure you pay for your tickets as soon as possible. My Venmo, my Cash App is in the comments. If you want to do something else, just let me know. Send me $100 per ticket, and then shoot us an email, courtcousins@nba@gmail.com, and we'll make sure we have your name and you'll stay updated, and it's going to be a good time. Tons of giveaways. And hey, we also, Peach, this might be an incentive for some people. We're discounting it for our Patreons. So it's $85 if you're a patron.
There we go.
So, save $15 here, join us for a few months. Forget to cancel it. Give us a couple extra months, and we're even. Let's do it.
Plus, we get shouted out on the show. Maybe I'll do a little bowing.
Yeah.
At some point, I might return shouting random things that I used to do. I should get back into that. I got to start.
Oh, that was good. The shout outs, and then you'd have like a random shout. Yeah, that may give us something for me to look for.
We're getting back to random shouts.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll get back to random shouts this year.
All
But
right.
hell, you know what? If you join the Patreon right now, you customize the shout. You tell me what to yell.
Love it. Love it. All right, Peach.
I can see somebody signing up right now to tell me to say that
shout
Wendell
this.
Carter is the greatest player in Magic history.
Please,
yeah, we'll
somebody
take your
do
money.
it. Do it. Do it. If you've been thinking about it, now is the time.
Should I start a whole OnlyFans for this project? That seems fun.
Wait, what, for just shout outs? Are you going to do it like in a tub full of whipped cream or something?
Oh, it doesn't have to be sexy. It's just fans here, right? That's all it is. It's just us fans. We're just hanging out.
All right, Peach, it's that time for the girthy ending here. Can you please, where's the button today?
Well, I think the button's back here, but I can't see it because Franz is defending it so well.
Here we go. Wow. What an epic comeback by the Broncos. New York Sports Talk Radio was in disarray today. You would have been so happy to listen. You would have loved to listen, Peach. They're calling for Dable's head over here. But my question is, how good do you think these Broncos could be? Bo Nix and the boys.
Well, thank you for saying that, because all I've heard when people are talking about this comeback is how sad it was for the Giants and how Jackson Dart is still an amazing player. And I'm like, you're missing the story. A team scored 33 points in a quarter after being shut out in the first three for the first time in NFL history to win a game. That's bananas. How good can they be? I think they can be a team that maybe they're in the second round of the playoffs, but okay. I don't know, man. I think they could win a playoff game, but
heck yeah,
the AFC is tight, man. There's some teams that are stepping up out of nowhere that are good. The Colts are 6-1. I mean, it's a free for all over there, man. The Bills and the Chiefs look like they may have taken a step back. It's tough to say, but I mean, the Ravens are completely out of it. I think they can be good, but I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl this year. But they're building. I like
that's
what they're
a good
building.
step, right? You take your lumps.
Yeah. Hey, I got to ask you. I'm sure our boy Paolo was a little sad that his Mariners still remain the only team to not make the World Series in Major League Baseball. But we got a Blue Jays Dodgers World Series. Where do you land on this one? With the high bot team that's always been there, or are you going with Team Canada?
Dude, I'm not going with LA. I'm going to our neighbors up north. Let's go Toronto. Let's go Blue Jays. My cousin lives in Toronto too. My other cousin, he's not on this show. On the Irish side, Sean. Yeah, he lives in Toronto now, or at least last I recalled. So yeah, let's go Blue Jays, baby.
He's probably too busy watching hurling to watch any baseball.
I like how you just wrote Paulo sad here next to this.
Yeah, I just want to remember to phrase it that way. See, people don't see what we write on the board.
I know, but I wanted to peek a little bit behind the curtain. That's what you get in the large ending.
Fair enough. It is hard for me to root for Toronto, but I will have to pull for them over the Dodgers because they have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who started as an Expos ball boy. So Montreal Expos are in there, and that's why I'm pulling for the Jays.
Peach, we've booked the suite, so now it's already time to start thinking about what we're going to eat down in Orlando. Is there a pregame? Where are we going? The catering is absurd in the suite, folks. We're not doing that, so we got to think of a place to go before. Do you already have a place in mind, Peach?
Well, you know I'm a tin and taco guy, so I'm gonna need that. It's close to the stadium too, so it goes. Yes. And I can't remember the name of that other place we've been on opening night. I think both times now. That little hole in the wall bar place. That place is great too. We gotta hit that spot as well. But for me, it's tin and taco. It's Taco Fest.
Yeah, it's good. It's good foundation for the booze that I will consume, and they have awesome fountain beverage. So I'm not mad about it. It's not my favorite taco spot, but I do like their Al Pastor bowl. Okay. Oh, Peach, what do you got here? There's another food-related question.
Okay, yeah. I'll see your restaurant and I will raise you. You're a man of many cuisines. You one time led a conversation with me like, what do you want to get to eat? Jamaican? As if that's for most people like on a regular basis.
I had chicken.
You seem to like every type of cuisine. I got to know.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite type of cuisine? There's got to be one that just you're like, I'm not into ABC, like Indian food or whatever it is. I don't want to sway you.
I mean, this is gonna be fucked up. Yeah, I got like my tops are like Thai food, Indian food. Yeah,
And that's top now.
Jamaican. No, I know. We're not doing that. So if you're flipping it, this is bad, dude. I feel badly, but us Irish folk, our food is pretty hit, dog. Like an Irish breakfast will clog your arteries faster than a tub of ice cream. Like blood sausage, fatty ham, pork. It's just there's like a tomato in there for no reason I don't get. It's just it doesn't. It's not
Irish
good.
breakfast was just a bunch of Guinness.
Yeah, we're not known for our cuisine. We're known more for, maybe that's why we drink so much, because the food's so shit. We gotta lubricate to get it down.
Legit. All right.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, this is coming back. A nice callback to what I mentioned when we were talking about Paolo's All NBA season, the P5 docuseries, The Standard. Awesome. Make sure you check it out. Great insight into our star. Peesh, though, my question for you is, what would the doc title for your life be called? If we did a mini series on Peesh.
Wish I'd looked at this long enough to come up with at least 4 or 5 funny answers, because I could if I had some time. The Standard is, by the way, that's a bold choice for that, because that should be like reserved for the Steph Currys or the LeBrons, right? Someone who's actually been the Standard already.
He's
not someone who's aspiring to be on that standard, but still, maybe by naming it that, he's saying, okay, I've already said I'm this, I gotta be that now.
Well, he's saying more, it's like the standards he has for himself as the docuseries is playing out. That's what it feels like more, the standard he sets for himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine wouldn't be called The Standard. It would probably be called like The Single Life or something like that. Anyone want to go halvesies on a life? Probably something like that. Just looking to someone to split rent with. Maybe we cuddle, maybe we don't. I don't know. Who's in? If you're in the Dallas area, let me know.
So
DFW, in fact, Real Fort Worth.
There's a colon in this title. It's a subtitle as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The best titles are sub. So we've got them. They're coming out. Topps basketball drops this week. Excited that Topps is back. I am going to miss Panini, though. I want to give Panini their flowers. They had a good run. They're probably still going to make some unlicensed cards that no one will buy. This is a type of card that is coming in the new Topps cards. It is where if you get this card, this guy will follow you on social media. There's a few players that are doing it, and one of them is of Dick. That's right. You can know what it's like to be a really attractive woman and have Dick follow you if you get this card in the new Topps basketball. And I swear to God, they're not a sponsor. I'm just a fan. Are you going to be excited about trying to get this card? Is this something you're confident?
Well, you have the box, right? You have a box on the way.
Well, that you're going to be. Yeah. Once it releases, they're going to send me a box, a hobby box coming up on Card Cousins soon. Check that out. Like and subscribe there, by the way. We need subscribers. People are watching, they're not subscribing. You've heard that spiel.
I don't know if I want Grady Dick to follow me. No. I mean, I would like to see the list of players that are doing this. I'm sure there are players out there.
Stephon Castle, I know, is one.
Okay, yeah, UConn guy. I think I'd like to have like Jalen Suggs follow me, although I don't really share anything that I'd like to connect with Jalen Suggs on. Like, I know he likes to read his Bible and he likes Stoic philosophy, so I'd like to talk to him about religion and philosophy and such like that. But we're not talking about that on Twitter or anything. It's just going to be a cool feather in the cap. So if I want it to be a Magic player, certainly. But I don't know who it would be. We're going to get that list for the next show.
I'll take anybody, because then I could use our new friendship into, depending on who it is, talking him into coming to the Orlando Magic. Like, if I can get in Stephon Castle's ear today and be like, let's do it. Or if I can get in Grady Dick's ear and be like, hey, man, remember the Black Dick swap? You guys could do that. You got to be on the same team. You got to be on the same line. Think of the pictures. Come on. He's smart enough to know. He knows he's got a good social media following.
Yeah.
I think it would really be good it would be even good for our brand, honestly. This could be the only way that we could get Dick. And I'm here for it. Pause.
Oh, that's wow. You're really up on your lingo now, Peach. Look at you.
Well, I'll 6'7" from time to time. Yeah, I'm learning.
That's all the kids in middle school are saying. It is getting so annoying.
It is.
Oh man.
But I'm not around middle schoolers all day, so it's fun to me.
Peach,
And the wheels
man.
of the bus go round and round.
I was, as I said, dragging a little bit, getting on here, doing this show with you has been awesome. I feel uplifted. It's so good to hang out with you all, second cousins. Let us know how you're doing in the comments. Make sure you do all that stuff, like and subscribe. As Peach said, I think like 60% of the people watching right now are not subscribed. So we're trying to get to that 2,000 mark. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the show when more people are listening. But if you could help us get there, that would be awesome. Peach, I am so excited. Yeah, let's do this, man. Until next time, second cousins. Peace out.
Thanks for coming.